My name is Dr. J.W. Winborne. I am the founder and director of Project NEO. We are an organization that work on various community initiatives to help our people. So most of what we do is geared towards helping the Black, Negro, minority communities. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Born and raised, proud of it. Went to school here, to the great Boys High. Shout out to boys and girls, Fulton Street, Marshall Avenue, Madison. I went to church here in Brooklyn and in Queens, and I raised my family all here in Brooklyn. Back then, when you are 10, 11, 12, the world is perfect. You know, your biggest beef is your parents make you come inside before it get dark. You know, that's your biggest problem. Growing up here in Brooklyn, I loved the difference between now. You know, I went away for a long time. As I became an adult, I moved to Jersey. Then I moved back to New York about 7 years ago. So I had to reacclimate myself and get to meet new people and become acquainted with some old people that I hadn't seen in so long. They were still kind of like meeting new people.
Right.
But we've been able to get over that hurdle, and we've been able to associate and meet some really, really fine people back here in New York, and that have been working with us on a lot of these projects that we are putting together for the Black people. You know, I know that I am touched with the feelings of other people's infirmities. And I think the fact that I grew up in church, I grew up as a minister, young minister, coming out of the Pentecostal church. I pastored for 8 years. I was the dean of 2 different Bible schools. Although I myself never experienced police brutality, I'm always concerned about those that do and have had those experiences. And I feel like if you are experiencing it, it's still affecting me. I'm still experiencing it. I still feel that pain that you felt. And I feel like there's something that needs to be done, that can be done about it. And if you have the ability to do something, then you have an obligation to make efforts in rectifying that situation that you need. But I always go back to the scripture that says, am I my brother's keeper? The answer is absolutely. Because we're all in this together. And we have to realize that. I think I was 8, maybe 9 years old when Dr. King was assassinated. That was a traumatic experience in my household. I remember that. I remember my mother crying. I remember my relatives and everybody in the house being all upset that they had killed Dr. King. I went to bed that night and I dreamt that we had Dr. Martin Luther King's funeral in my living room. Okay? I have had that dream every 7 to 8 months since.
Wow, recurring dream.
It's a recurring dream. I go to bed, I dream we having the funeral of Dr. King again in my living room. Everybody, I still see the chairs that my mother put down. I still see the casket sitting in between. You know how they had a catacomb, the circle windows, like the little bay windows right there. The casket was right up in that section. And I have this recurring dream all the time that I can't shake, I can't get rid of. And so when I look back at the images of the civil rights movement, and I look now at the images of, let's say, the Black Lives Matter movement, the only thing that has changed is the color of the pictures. The people still look like the same people. The signs are still the same. The signs still say the exact same thing. We still holding up the same fist. We're still marching. And we're still doing all that stuff. But the only thing has changed since the civil rights movement, and I know people get upset with me when I say that, is that they've given us the opportunity and the right to give them our money, to be consumers. As strange as it may seem, it appears as though in a lot of ways as a people we were better off when we were segregated.
Yeah.
Because we had our own. And we always did better. Anytime you let us in the game, we changed the game. That's who we are as a people, okay? You let us in sports, you let us in tennis, and look what we did to it. Them black girls done took over the game, and they'll give it back to the tennis community whenever they get ready. Okay? Look what we did once they let us in the major leagues. How we changed the game. Look what happened to the NBA after they let the ABA in. This country is rooted in racism and in violence from its inception. So that's how those people that have colonialized the world have dealt with everything. And so racism, you know who explained racism the best, I think, is Dr. Claude Anderson. He says racism is a race. It's a race where groups of people are trying to accumulate and achieve as much as they can. And they're in a race to do that. And what has happened, for the most part, we as black people have not been in the race. Okay? We are more of of communal type individuals. And I think that our psyche is different, our thought process is different. All right, and so we don't even have a true, at times, hatred for those that hate us. We have an element in us that say, oh, it's gonna be all right. You know, they did this, they just don't understand once I get to know them, once they really get to know me. And that has not been the case. So think about the white people that have committed murder in the last 7-8 years. You have Dylan Roof, walked into a church, shot up 9 people. Little white boy killed 9 black people after they prayed for him. Cops came, they didn't kill him. They took his ass to Burger King.
I'm sorry, what?
All right, I'm not making this up. Because he was hungry. So before they took him, man, they just killed 9 people. Before they took him to jail, they took him to Burger King. I guess they let him have it his way. And we can go over and over and over. We can talk about Breonna Taylor. We can talk about the woman sitting in her house playing the video games with her nephew. We can talk about the boy in his grandmother's backyard. We can talk about Mike Brown, Eric Gardner, Castillo. We can go on and on and on and on and on. They're all dead. And most of them was unarmed and minor violations. Why? Because the police departments are tyrants, okay? They're tyrants. Don't give me no story about the bad apple. Ain't no bad apple. The whole thing is corrupt. And we seem to think that by taking the high road, that works to our advantage. I think that those people that are our enemy, that when we take the high road, we see it as a thing of honor. They see it as a thing of weakness. You follow me? And so they continue to do to us what they do to us because we're trying to take the high road. Now, the reality of it is they are scared to death that the black people will wake up. They understand that we are a sleeping giant. And so it's antithetical to their objective as if we come together as a people. It's antithetical to their objective if they give us reparations. So they're not going to give us reparations. I tell people they're not going to give it. If they were going to give it, they would have done it already. They've given reparations to the Chinese. They've given reparations to the Jews. And we ain't have a doggone thing to do with the Holocaust. Think about this. They got a Asian hate crime bill in this country because it's been like, over 8 Asians been attacked. So now they got an Asian crime bill. We've been attacked for years and years and years and years and years, and nobody does the hoopla about what's going on. It's not until we start filming and showing everybody and putting it in everybody's face so you can no longer deny it. So you can't deny it. So what you have to do is accept it. Now, once you accept it, what you going to do about it? And if you don't do anything about it, now we realize you are enemy too. Everybody and their mama got a camera. And it's not that the rate of injustice is increasing, it's just being filmed. Now, and the hypocrisy of it is being shown. They lost their mind. They lost their doggone mind because Colin Kaepernick got down on a knee, okay, to protest police brutality. And they keep talking about the soldiers. Our servicemen, our soldiers, how we feel about our soldiers. And then the police pull over a soldier and treat him like dirt. So it just shows the hypocrisy of what they're talking about. Now, what are they saying? Here's the reason why they don't want you to bow at the games, because that's their time of relaxation. That's their time of enjoyment and entertainment. Don't put no political pressure on me while I'm paying you to entertain me. You understand? That's the problem. Don't make me face my ills and my infractions and my sins while I come here to be entertained. That's their problem. And what they look at it is like the audacity of you to protest, the audacity of you to say you don't like something. Shut up and dribble. You follow me? And so if you look like in this country, you say, well, who are the people that are making the money? Who are the black people that are making the money? The black people that are making the money are the black people that are on stage, that are entertaining the nice white people. You make us happy. Make me feel good. We give you tons of money. You can hit that ball. You can throw that ball in the hole. We give you millions of dollars to entertain us and watch you throw that ball in the hole. But don't you dare talk to me about a voting right, about income inequality. They tell you like they told LeBron. Just shut up and dribble. Can you imagine? Shut up and dribble. This is what they told LeBron James. So we got every right to have an attitude. And so the people that have been abusive in this country, for a long time, it was suppressed. You know, what civil rights did, it did suppress the racism, okay? And it used political correctness as a means of suppressing racism. Well, you know, we always got a lot of stuff going on. We always trying to do whatever's in front of us. Our main project right now is the self-reparation program. We just started that. We just opened the machine. We just seeing how it works. We are thoroughly impressed with what we see. We go to bed at night saying we can't believe we own this wonderful machine that we have that can change everybody's lives. And we're just excited about offering it to everybody and getting it out there so that everyone can be a part of it, that they can change their financial future. That's what we're working on now. So go by the website. Our website is www.myprojectneo.org. That's www.myprojectneo.org. Or give us a call at 1-888-UNN-CASH. 1-888-UNN-CASH. And also be looking, this summer coming out is our book, the new book coming out that's talking about the self-reparation program called Negronomics. It's a brief history of how societies have made money off of the backs of Negroes since our time back in Egypt and through the Babylonian captivities and all those other captivities up until the transatlantic captivity and the captivity that we are experiencing right now here on the shores of North America. So look forward to that. It's called Negronomics, and it's a companion piece to the reparation program that we got coming out. So those are the things that we got coming down the pike right now. In addition to, we're on the radio every night. We have a podcast on Blog Talk Radio. So you go to Blog Talk /The Neo Nation. You will find us there. We got 2 years of every night spitting resources and giving information and knowledge. So go by there, and also you can get more information on our movements and what we're doing.
All right, James Winborne, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine.